Headguards were brought in 1984 following the Los Angeles games because at Los Angeles the American Medical Association wanted the boxers to wear headguards during the bouts. There was no scientific reason for them to wear headguards, it was just the politics of the time. They got introduced into the UK towards the end of the 80s, and we've been boxing with headguards ever since. They were removed at the beginning of this year, and we've had several big tournaments now without headguards. The data that we've found by looking at historical data and new data is that it actually, as far from a head injury point of view, rather counterintuitively shows that removing the headguards is safer from a head injury point of view than having a headguard on. So if you wear a headguard, it's more dangerous from a head injury point of view than removing the headguard. So we're having fewer knockouts, fewer concussions, and it appears to be safe without the headguards. From my point of view, being someone who's worked in boxing for a long time, it also looks better, and I think it's improved the type of boxing and the level of boxing that's happening. So for me, it's a very positive thing. I think there's less head injuries because there are lots of reasons being given. The head is made larger by having the headguard on, so it increases the amount of torque that you can put on the headguard. It stops your peripheral vision, so the big punches that tend to knock people out are the hooks that come from the side, and if you're wearing a headguard you can't see those coming as well. Perhaps removing the headguard stops that. The fact the referee can't see the boxer's eyes so well, so doesn't realise when they're in trouble when they're wearing a headguard. However, to be honest, I think the real reason is that people just feel safer wearing a headguard, so they tend to put their head in a way when they're not wearing a headguard they won't do. And so I think it's that, it's the Volvo drivers having more accidents because the car feels safer. Because they feel safer with a headguard on, they tend to take more risks. And I think removing the headguard stops that risk-taking behaviour, and it does appear to have made it, from a head injury point of view, safer. Unfortunately, from a cuts point of view, there has been a lot more cuts without the headguards. Now that may just be an adjustment period because the boxers are used to having their heads very close together. But now they are getting cuts and they're realising that the cuts are a problem. I think the style will change slightly and they won't get so many clashes of heads. But I think there's always going to be more cuts without the headguards than with.